Well, greetings, Boise State fans. Welcome on in. Happy Tuesday. It's Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com, social media channels of Bronco Nation News. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that like button, and then you'll be notified whenever we post press conference audio or video or anything else. It's Tuesdays with Tust, so we got KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust in the house. Jay, it's one of the best weeks of the year. You had the championship last night. You got the Masters on Thursday. I think Tiger Woods is like doing his press conference at the exact same time we're doing this. So maybe we can break some news to folks if he says he's in here. But you got opening day on Thursday as well. So spring game on Saturday. It's a fun time, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're opening up the season in Minnesota. So there are talks of delaying our opener because apparently it's still super cold back there, bad weather or whatever. So Will Hall's from Minnesota. So I'm just going to blame him. Yeah, I'm going to blame Will.
What'd you think of that championship game last night, man?
Oh, that was on last night?
I don't think I've ever done a show on less sleep and also not caring and being in a great mood, man. The alma mater winning the title last night. It was pretty cool.
What a game. I mean, I should turn the question right back around and ask you because the first 5 minutes of that game, it was like, man, KU is going to roll. And then all of a sudden at halftime, it was like, oh man, KU is going to get rolled. And then the second half was just phenomenal because the game leveled out on the scoreboard. There wasn't a lot of back and forth, but there was a lot of fourth and then tied and then fourth and then tied, So, but it was a fun game to watch. When your boy stepped out of bounds at the end, it felt like we were going to be delivered one last little bit of March Madness, but Caleb Love just couldn't deliver. Tough night.
Man. Well, here's the scene. I was at Big Al's with about 50 friends. Joe Paris was there, by the way. Jay, your guy Joe showed up. Some other folks from KTVB, actually. We had about over 50 KU fans at Big Al's last night, and it was pretty incredible at the end of the game. There's the final buzzer going off. You felt like you were on Mass Street, man. It was a pretty cool experience watching the game last night. The Jayhawks win the national title. Appreciate Big Al's for their hospitality last night. And yeah, it is a little different when it's the alma mater, Jay. The pro championships are cool. And there's Naismith. He was doing some Fortnite dance, he said. I don't know what it was. That's my kid there. So that's about as good as it gets. It was pretty cool for him, he's still kind of learning, Jay, figuring out what's going on. But to see my kid kind of dancing there he doesn't know why he was dancing, but to win the title. And again, I had my mother-in-law, Melanie, some other folks there. It was a fun time. And yeah, man, I don't know what, folks would trade, but the alma mater, I think, is just something different. You go there for 4 or 5, 6 years, you blood, you sweat, you tears, you pay them a lot of money. You go to all those games, and to see your alma mater cut down the nets, pretty surreal, actually. It really is.
I honestly couldn't imagine my alma mater doing it. I mean, for you, it's not the wildest thing. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's out of left field completely. If Washington State ever made the tournament again, let alone went on a Sweet 16, Final Four championship run, it would be, it would shock the world, to be honest with you. So
yeah, my senior year, 2008, was the last time they won. So I was a senior at KU and was able to. That was a pretty cool experience to say you were a student when they won the championship, and then now to be out here in Boise. But you never know, man. Kyle Smith can get it going there.
Hey, let's go, Kyle Smith. Figure it out, bud. We had a great year this year, all things considered, an NIT Final Four. So hey, I will honestly take that. That's a big deal for us. I will take that. One thing that I thought was kind of cool, BJ, I think Holly Rowe pointed this out last night. I don't know if you saw this or not, but in 2020, when the tournament was canceled, Kansas was the number 1 overall seed in that tournament.
Yep.
And on the women's side, South Carolina was the number 1 overall seed in that tournament.
Oh, wow.
And I think she said, I think she coined it delayed but not denied. Those two teams deserved a shot at trying to win a national championship. Both didn't get that shot because COVID canceled their respective tournaments.
That's cool.
But 2 years later, both of them figure it out. Now they're on top of their respective college basketball worlds.
And I saw Bill Self after the game. Devon Dodson, the point guard from that 2020 team, Bill Self took one. He was in the stands, and Bill Self took a championship hat over to him and said, "This one's for you, man," or "You deserve this," or something, or "This should have been yours," something like that. And so it was kind of a cool moment. We saw Paul Pierce. Did Michael Jordan ever show up? I never saw him show Jordan. I don't know
if he was there. It was funny. My wife came into the room, and I was just like not paying attention for a second. She goes, "Was that Michael Jordan?" I don't know if it was him or not, but maybe
Okay.
he was there. I didn't catch it. It might
I
have been
didn't
like
either. I
one
saw
segment.
Danny Manning, Paul Pierce, Mario Chalmers, some of the KU
Yeah.
greats, but I didn't say. I for sure thought Jordan would be there. I didn't see him, but yeah, heck of a game, and it was fun to wake up this morning. It just it's a cool feeling, and I remember back when I was a student there, they canceled class the next day, and the team came back and did a big ceremony at the football stadium. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool, and yeah, hopefully for all the other folks out there, whether you're Boise State alum or Washington State or whoever else, hopefully you guys all do get to experience that because it's a pretty cool feeling. Jay, let's move on. The golf tournament is open. You can register now and you can play with Jay Tust if you're lucky. Just go to BroncoNationNews.com. There's a tab at the top that says golf tournament. You can click on that. You can also email me, Rains@BroncoNationNews.com, Rains@BroncoNationNews.com. But registration is open for all. If you're a subscriber, you get a discount. But if you're not a subscriber, you're still welcome to play. It's going to be awesome. We got breakfast included, lunch included, drinks on the course. We're going to have a lot of fun, give away some free swag. Coach Leon Rice is going to be there doing the celebrity shot on the par 3. We got Lithia Ford giving away a car, Jay, for a hole-in-one. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. So, again, please subscribe. We have limited foursomes if you want to get in. It's June 3rd. It's at Timberstone Golf Course. And just go to BroncoNationNews.com and click golf tournament. But, Jay, I know Jay was trying to do the celebrity shot. Leon Rice wanted it. It was a battle, but we gave it to Coach Rice.
Good decision.
We're actually considering having Jay maybe for like the long drive competition. Just
Okay, I'll do that.
You know, a portion of the proceeds are going to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. So hopefully we can maybe Jay can just take a donation and just let it fly on the tee box of like the par 5.
I just whoever shows up, I get to use their golf balls though, because I don't want to lose any more of my own.
Well, you're going to get some free ones to play in the tournament. We're giving out free.
Okay, there we go.
Give out a sleeve to all the participants. So, yeah, hopefully folks will sign up for that. BroncoNationNews.com. It's June 3rd. Looking forward to that. Jay's going to be out there. Prater's going to be out there. Prater and the ball game are actually going to do their show out there that day. If anybody remembers Chef Wally, who used to own Fat Guy's Fresh Deli, he's now running his own catering business, and so he's going to be out there catering breakfast and lunch. And
let's go.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And again, we got the hole-in-one from Lithia Ford. ICCU is going to have some stuff out there. Rowpaint.com is our presenting sponsor of the tournament and of our website. So we appreciate Rowpaint.com, ICCU for stepping up. And again, we're donating a portion of the proceeds to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, as well as to support the family of Rick Worthington, who has gone through a lot the last couple of years. So it's going to be a lot of fun and looking forward to it on June 3rd. So hopefully folks will subscribe to that. Jay, we had a chance yesterday, spring football starting to wind down a little bit, the final week here before the spring game on Saturday. And finally, after 2.5 years, Austin Bolt, the local legend himself, it's funny, I actually had in the headline, I was going to call him a local legend. And then I said, is that saying too much? And then I went back and listened to Hank Bachmeyer himself actually called Austin Bolt the local legend. So I said, okay, if he said it, I can use it. But all the hype, all the stuff coming from Boron, he hasn't quite had the chance yet. But for the first time, he met with the media yesterday. Before we hear from Austin, what do you make of him? And it does sound like this might be the year he can get in there and make an impact on offense.
I think I'm just excited for Austin in the sense that it seems like he's definitely found a home at a position. And it's funny because you even go back to his high school football career. And at the betterment of the team, which did emphasize his role on the team, he played out of position. He was the quarterback on that team, and he was never going to play quarterback in college, but he was the best athlete. So he said, hey, if this helps the team win, I'm playing quarterback. And when he got to Boise State, he kind of did a similar thing of how can I get on the field the fastest? How might I be able to help the team? And so now all of a sudden, not only bumping around positions on offense, going from tight end and wide receiver, but he even mixes in going over the defensive side of the ball for a couple of weeks, playing, that edge rushing position. And so for him to have some stability, some really good direction on where he might be able to maximize his own skill set, I think it'll be big for his development, as you said, as he goes into what will be technically his third year on campus, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I
And
mean,
he actually
that's
played during the COVID year. It didn't count, so he did get a few
right.
games in there. Last year, as you said, was mostly special teams. Had one deep ball in the San Diego State game that went through his hands. But fans have been clamoring for him, man. And I hate to say, like, I mean, and even Austin said it yesterday. The coaches know way more than I do about this, and the coaches certainly know more than we do, and the fans do. So, I mean, he wasn't playing for a reason, obviously.
Yeah.
But fans for a couple of years now, I mean, when you put up the numbers he did at Bora, Jay, and I think a lot of people thought he was just going to come in and make an immediate impact. And it's just taken a little while longer, but I still think there's obviously plenty of time. He's got 3 years of eligibility left, and he waited it out, and fans are waiting it out. And I think I think he can still make that impact that people thought he would earlier in his career.
Yeah, and I think if you look at Austin too, I mean, it seems like he brings us something a little bit different than the other wide receivers in that room in terms of his length and his size. And I mean, when it comes to a lack of opportunity, I mean, let's also focus in on the fact that like Boise State's had some pretty good wide receivers these last few years. I mean, being stuck behind guys like Octavius Evans, Steph Cobbs, and Khalil Shakir on the depth chart, there's a lot of wide receivers around the country that would have a tough time cracking that lineup. So, it might be finally his time to shine, and these are the early moments of those opportunities, and we'll see what happens as early as this Saturday in the spring game.
Somebody off topic asking, can you read between the lines with Bachmeier not throwing at Pro Day? There were no lines to read between. Bachmeier just had a, I won't even say a sore shoulder. He's not hurt, but they are kind of just not wanting him to make extra unnecessary throws this spring that he doesn't need to make sure that he is good to go for the season. They don't want to put any extra wear and tear on him. The plan was for Bachmeier to throw at Pro Day, Jay, and then like the day before, I think the trainers just said, you know what? It's not really worth it. We're going to hold him back. And then Taylon Green was thrown in there, but there was nothing else between the lines other than Bachmeier and the trainers just deciding, you know what, there's really no need to push it here.
Yeah, it did seem a little sudden, I would say. Like Khalil Shakir seemed a little surprised. Like when he was talking to us, he's like, yeah, it was supposed to be Hank. And then the day before it was like, he's not throwing. So then we were like, okay, let's call up Taylor and get some routes in. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to try to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, maybe the coaches and folks we talked to were downplaying something that's actually a bigger deal. But at least what they were saying at Pro Day was that trainers are just kind of have a pitch count this spring on Hank's arm, and no need to make 100 extra throws or whatever it would have been when they just finished a 2-hour practice right before that. So who knows? And Perry's talking about Green having an impressive Pro Day. He was pretty impressive. And Joel's asking about, could Jalen Henderson have done it? Do they have to use amateurs? No, they actually usually up until a year or two ago had to use someone that's not, you had to be a senior or out of the program already. And then Boise State actually got a waiver, and they had to get a waiver approved by the NCAA to allow a current quarterback to do it. Yeah. But Henderson could have if he was in town.
I mean, there's been pastures where they've had to bring in guys not affiliated with Boise State to kind of run that. I think one year that even College of Idaho's old QB came up and worked out a little bit at Boise State.
I was thinking that Price. What's the Washington quarterback that's on staff right now? Price. He's like a GA or something.
Oh, Keith Price.
I was thinking he might have been the one to do it.
Yeah. He probably still sling it a little bit. He's not that old.
Yeah, but let's get back to Bolt. Sorry for getting off topic there. Let's hear about 2 minutes of Austin Bolt. This is him talking about sticking it out with the team and not transferring, and how frustrating it's been to not find the field, but how all that hard work and wait is hopefully about to pay off.
Like I said, they wanted me at tight end at the beginning, and I wasn't heavy enough, so I moved to receiver, and I went to the defensive side. It's been all over the place, but the coaches, I'm kind of skinny, I'm kind of fast, I'm quick. They're trying to figure out the position that kind of fits me the best. So for me, it's just a great opportunity to learn different roles, and I think this is my permanent position, or at least for a couple years. And all the other positions I've played just kind of helped me out to learn how defense is going to be playing, different coverages and stuff. So it's been a journey, but I'm just excited to finally hone down on one position and hopefully have a big impact on the team this year.
The coaches have always talked about physical and in your weight. I mean, Has it been a struggle to gain weight for you?
Yeah. I eat a lot. It's just my metabolism's crazy. So, instead of just keep putting me at tight end, they move me to receiver, or they move me to different positions to figure out what position I can finally get on the field fastest and succeed the best at. So receiver is the best position right now for me, and I'm just gonna try to keep doing my best to improve on that position.
What are your expectations playing receiver this year? Where do you think you fit into this group, and what type of role do you think you're going to have in this offense?
For me, I think I'm gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna probably be a deep threat for the receiver position. We've been doing a lot. I've been talking to Plow a lot, and I think just learning the position more because I've never really been like honed in on a receiver besides my junior in high school and then a little bit my freshman year. So it's just kind of getting all the little like details. Coach Miller is a great receiver here, so learning from him is a great thing. I learned from Shaq a little bit last year. There's a lot of things I still have to fine tune in my game. So right now it's just kind of being more of a deep threat, kind of a long ball receiver. I feel like.
After such a productive high school career, what's it been like for you not seeing the field that much the last 2 years? Has that been tough for you?
It's definitely a big change. I was playing punter, kicker, kick returner, quarterback. I was playing a lot, but yeah, it was a big difference just kind of, playing, scout team my first year. Then just last year I was more of just a special teams player. But like I said, I realized how I wasn't really like a great football player. I was just more of an athlete in high school, and you get exposed out here now because, you can't do the simple things you do in Idaho football. You got to, have more moves than just that. So, having Miller, Avalos, Plow, all the coaches kind of like keep working with me, kind of like getting all my like little skills down, like route running, releases, everything just kind of, at the beginning it was a little frustrating, but I finally bought in. I bought into what they're thinking, and, this year should be a good year for me. So, I'm just buying in what they're telling me because they know a lot more than I do.
You ever consider transferring?
No. I mean, it was just kind of frustrating for a little bit when I first started moving around positions, but I talked to one of my high school coaches, and he said he kind of gave me a little advice, and that, I was a freshman. I think I should be, on top of the world, that's everyone's expectation, especially after my senior year, and everyone goes through it. So I stuck it out, and I've stuck it out, and I've trusted the process throughout the coaches have been telling me, and it's probably my greatest decision because I love playing for the state of Idaho. My dream playing on this blue, it's a dream of mine trying to catch touchdowns. So I think this year I finally get a good opportunity to start making an impact on the offense. So, I'm just glad I just stuck it out and, trust the coach's process.
Well, he's glad he stuck it out, Jay. I think Boise State fans are glad he stuck it out. And, he said all the right things yesterday. I'm sure he had to consider transferring with the fact that he wasn't playing. Could he have gone somewhere else? I know he was a local legend, as we said, and a lot of people thought he'd come in and play right away. It had to be tough for him, Jay, the last couple of years, but it does finally seem like he's going to get a chance at receiver to finally get out there.
Yeah, I think that it shows that, Austin's also grown up a little bit. Like he's matured too. I mean, I kind of said it before, but you go back to his high school career, and I focused on just the fact that he was a quarterback as a senior. Well, he also mentioned like he's the punter, he's the kicker, he even played some safety. I mean, he's playing all these positions that he wasn't going to play in college, again, because he was a superior athlete. And I like what Austin said yesterday. Like, I think he hit the nail on the head. Like, he was a superior athlete. He is a superior athlete. But maybe he wasn't like a superior football player. And right now he's getting a chance to really dial in and hone those skills. And maybe that's why now that he's finally found a home at wide receiver, he knows that's what he needs to work on. His body fits that position. Maybe that's why we will see some growth. The one thing I will say with Austin talking about being a potential deep threat for this team is that last year Boise State didn't have a ton in terms of their vertical pass attack. And maybe that will be a dimension of this offense that certainly grows this year.
Was that personnel or was that just something Tim Plow didn't want to do?
Great question. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. This offense, I mean, we've still really only seen a year of it. And all that we know is that we haven't seen it at its peak. And I think that the coaches have been pretty upfront and honest with us about that. And mostly that might have to do with tempo. But Andy said that a lack of depth. I mean, he said this as recently as our last time talking with him. Their lack of depth didn't really allow them to do what they want to do in terms of tempo. And so they feel like they're in a better spot this year to go with more tempo. But I guess all I'm warning you just is that if it doesn't click immediately, it doesn't mean it's not going to click. It just might take a second. Like, Field throws over 20 yards downfield. Like you're probably lucky to complete 50% of those, to where like Khalil, like more there's more some short stuff where you get him the ball and let him move. Those are like, 80 or 90% completion throws.
Jay says with all the depth, could Bolt start? How do you look at this wide receiver group as a whole, Jay? And obviously you've got, the Cobbs, I think, is coming back as what most people would assume is the number one receiver. You've got Bowens. I think Davis Cutter is going to see an uptick in his playing time and what his production is. There's some other young guys they like, but how do you see Bolt fitting in here?
They need someone that can stretch the field. And whether that's throwing the ball to him as he runs downfield or simply a guy that seems like a threat so that he gets attention, like they need someone that can stretch the field. And one thing that we do know is that Austin is if he's not the fastest, he is one of the top couple of fastest guys on the team. And we've heard people call him the fastest. I don't know if his top end speed's the fastest or not, but he's right there. And so they need a guy like Austin in order to maximize what you feel like this offense can be. Someone that can truly be a threat stretching the field.
Someone put here the over-under. Let me find it where it went. What do you put? 15 catches for Austin Bolt. Would you go over-under this year on 15 catches?
I honestly think that's a pretty good number.
Big Wade. Nice job.
Yeah.
There.
I'm gonna slide slightly with the over. And again, we're talking about, you can either get 300 yards on 30 catches or 300 yards on 15 catches. Austin seems like he's going to be more of the role to get 300 yards on 15 catches. And I think that would be somewhat reasonable, I feel like, to set the bar there.
Well, I want to switch and talk defense, but first, Jay, BoiseDentistryCo.com, Dr. Chris Meinert. They got locations all across the Treasure Valley. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. The Raines family has made the switch to Dr. Meinert, and if you're looking for a new dentist or he's the guy you need to go to. So he'll talk Boise State with you while he's working on your teeth. Great dude, great staff there. So BoiseDentistryCo.com. Thanks to them. United Commercial Insurance as well. If you own a business, you think you have good business insurance rates, well, I bet you United Commercial Insurance can do better. 229-8222, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. It's a local company, big BSU supporters, but they can write policies in 44 states around the country. So check them out for all the liability and property insurance. United Commercial Insurance will take care of you. And Transportation Compliance Service, they're a big-time sponsor of ours. We really, really appreciate them. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, again, this is a local company based out of Meridian. I was there at their Christmas party MC and a Q&A with Shakir and Skinner last year, and they're big BSU supporters, but they are helping folks all over the country get signed up in the trucking industry. 1,000 people a day are becoming truck drivers, and if you try to do it yourself, you screw it up, you get in trouble, you go out of business. So all the permits, all the things you need, let TCS take care of that for you. They can get you out there towing that first road very, very quickly. So Transportation Compliance Service, check them out, transcomservice.com. Okay, we talked about Bolt as a guy maybe emerging on the offensive side, Jay. Another guy maybe emerging on the defensive side this year, Divine Obacheri. He talked with the media yesterday as well, and he's a guy, Jay, that has been here 2 years, hasn't made a huge impact, couple of sacks. He's got 30, low 30 tackles in the 2 years, combined. But he's a guy that adds depth to that D-line. And he's another guy that really shouldn't have been here. With the COVID year, he got a free year, but he would have had 2 years after coming from JUCO. He would have been done. He gets the freebie now, and I think he adds to that depth. And I think he's slimmed down a little bit, which you're going to hear in a minute. But he's a guy I think that could potentially have a bigger role this year.
Yeah, and you go back and actually, Divine had a better year during COVID. Like the 2020 year for him was better than last year, and so. Third year in a program, you probably feel like you got a great grasp on college football. You know what you have to do to be successful. I think that's indicative of the fact that he is down about 15 pounds or so, maybe even a little bit more than that, closer to 20. And so I think he understands where he fits in on that defensive line and what he has to do to be a playmaker for that defensive line. And so it'll be exciting. And I think the great thing is that you're also talking about probably Divine being a piece to that defensive line, not necessarily the man on that defensive line. And I think that's a good thing because it shows that, hey, these guys are supposed to have some depth going into this season.
By the way, with him talking about losing weight and Austin Bolt saying he couldn't gain weight, I was looking around the room at myself and Prater and Ron and all of us and mostly myself there. And I'm just like, man, he says, I eat and eat and eat, and my metabolism is crazy. I can't gain weight. Don't we all wish we had that problem?
I'm envious of those days in college when you could do whatever you wanted and it didn't matter.
Oh, man. But Divine met with the media yesterday again. Unique Road came over. Was it Long Beach City Community College, or what was his JUCO that he was at?
I don't remember, but during the soundbite, I'll look it up.
Yeah, he came over from JUCO, and I think it was with him and Shane Irwin, right? Came over together, and but he's now going in his third year at Boise State. And here's a short clip from Divine meeting with the media yesterday.
Just being leaner, faster, getting a better pass rush, getting a better fit. Just shed a couple pounds so I get faster.
Did the coaches talk to you about doing that last season or this off season? Or
It was kind of a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to slim down so I could better my own game.
So what changes did you make? Was it just better diet? Was it
Better
more
diet,
intense
drinking
workouts?
more water, things like that.
How's that going to help your pass rush game?
Definitely, I'm going to be faster off the edge or out of 3 tech or even on the nose. So, yeah.
Was there something you liked to eat that you had to cut out that was hard? Or
There's a lot of like fast food. Kind of quitting that.
What was
Getting
that
more
sandwich at
groceries.
Firebirds?
Oh, Jaybirds?
Yeah, Jaybirds.
I haven't had it in like a year. So, yeah.
How much are you down there?
I'm currently 283 this morning. So, yeah.
Let's talk about the defensive line, maybe just across, all the positions and just the upgrade from last year to this year. How would you compare, what you're feeling and what you're seeing?
It's a lot of dependable depth. I feel comfortable with the oranges, comfortable with the blues, and the young guys are showing a lot too. So we have dependable depth.
was it a no-brainer for you to obviously want to come back and play this
Yeah,
year?
I love these guys, man. Got to finish it off right with a Mountain West championship. Solely right. So
Do you have a different mindset this spring going into the season, knowing you came back for a reason, obviously, and you get one final chance here?
well, this is it. So go big or go home. So.
What type of leadership role have you not taken on this team coming back?
I just like coaching the young guys, and just letting them know right from wrong, what we do. We're on the field, echoing the plays, letting them know what they're doing because they might be confused. They're new here, so just be like a big brother to them.
You obviously had the COVID. Your first year was the COVID, right? With how weird all that was and everything. I mean, what to get this extra year and have this opportunity, the NCAA to let you do this? How nice is it?
It's a blessing, honestly, because that year was crazy. Games getting canceled. We played like 6 or 7 games, so it's just a blessing to get this opportunity.
And how much better of a player do you think the extra year and the extra offseason is going
That'll
to make you?
definitely help. Getting used to the crowd last year, traveling, so yeah.
Coach Avila said the goal this year is to have 2 lines with no drop-off from the starters to the backups. Why is that so important?
I mean, because we all have the skill to start. I feel like so there shouldn't be any drop off when the starters come out and the backups come in.
Well, what do you make, Jay, of Divine Obucheri, but also just this D-line as a whole? You heard there at the end, they're trying to have that, I remember going back to the Steve Caldwell era here back when I first got here at the beginning, and he was talking about having, rotating just the whole 4 and then the next 4 and not having a drop-off. What do you make of what the D-line looks like? Scott Matlock looks like he's ready to be a beast this year. Scaly Gahan would have been on this team potentially, but is now gone. But you have Shane Irwin back. You have some of the other guys at edge. But what do you make of the interior guys and just how this D-line as a whole is shaping up?
Yeah, Herbert Gums, obviously George Tarlis. I mean, it just it feels like they got some older, more physical bodies that they're going to be able to run through this year. And last year, I think we saw, they lost their starting, the guy that was arguably going to lead them at the beginning of the year last year, right? And so that was a big hit for them. And then it just a couple of injuries, and we just saw how quickly their depth was depleted. I think that we were all seeing, like, if this goes perfectly, like, they're going to have a great defensive line. Well, how often do things go perfectly in college football? There's always injuries. And so now I think I'm kind of using that this year of like, well, what if a couple of these guys go down? And it still feels like they might be able to, to weather those storms a little bit better this year. And so Divine losing weight once again, I also think that's kind of a natural progression we've seen out of a lot of upperclassmen since we've been covering Boise State. You've definitely heard this before about guys cutting out fast food and all this stuff. I think they get into their junior and senior years and they see where they might be hitting a ceiling, and they realize some of the other things they might cut out of their life or add to their life that will allow them to push through that ceiling. And so to see Divine acknowledge that is big, I think.
As we kind of wrap this up, and if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're almost to 1,000, and if you subscribe, when we get to 1,000, we're going to give away a round of golf at Timberstone Golf Course on a future show. So help subscribe, and if you're one of the 1,000 subscribers, you could win a free round of golf. And you can also interact with us on when you're watching on YouTube. And Dayton chimes in, Jay, with our final question here: who should fans be watching to break out at the spring game on Saturday? For fans going 3:30 on Saturday, where should their eyes be turned? Who are a couple names to look out for?
I mean, I really am excited to see the tempo of the offense. Like, I just want to see if we're going to get back to the style that Tim Plow wants to operate at. Again, something that they've acknowledged a number of times is that they just didn't have the personnel, the depth, whatever it might be, to really go last year. And that's why in the middle of the season, you saw them slow down and try to really kind of more manage the game, I would say. And it's not just on offense, it's on defense too. They're banged up. They didn't want to have their guys on defense back out on the field, immediately playing more and more snaps. And so as the personnel and all this stuff starts to connect and get in place, how quickly can this offense operate? Because the tempo is something that makes this offense unique and makes it go. So I think it's little things like that I'm excited to see. Outside of that, man, go be a fan. Go be a fan at the freaking spring game. We can all go this year. Pick out your favorite number and just watch that dude roll. And I think it can be that simple for a spring game, because I also don't think you need to make the spring game out to be like a make or break, scrimmage or anything like that.
Perry's asking if it'll be streamed. I think it's on the radio this year. It's not streamed, but Jay and Will, I'm sure, will have plenty of highlights for you on KTVB Saturday night, on Sunday Sports Extra as well. I just checked the weather forecast, Jay. It's going to be sunny, but it is going to be a little cool. It's only 53 for the high, but I think you'd take sunny and 53 over rainy and 70.
I agree. I'll agree with that. Rain sucks. Wind usually sucks. So
had not great weather at some of these spring games. It's rained a couple of these years. There was one year they were supposed to do the concert on the Blue afterwards, and it just downpoured the entire game. So you wear a sweatshirt, you bundle up a little bit.
Go figure. It's gonna be like 77 or 80 or something on Friday. The Idaho spring has arrived. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and even lower, 46 on Sunday. So you go from 77 on Friday to 46 on 2 days later on Sunday. But yeah, Jay, what do we got? What I know lots of spring football coverage. I know the softball team had a rough weekend. Beach volleyball's doing well, but what do we got on KTVB coming up this week?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna hit the home stretch of spring football this week. We got Coach Avila's talking again tomorrow, third time in a week. We'll take that. Practice early tomorrow morning. Get student athletes at 11. So we really we're going to hammer the home stretch of spring football before things go a little radio silent, I guess, next week, at least on the college front. We'll still be covering Boys State softball and everything like that, but it'll just get a little quieter, I would say, on the college front after this week. And then check in with the College of Idaho football team too, because they too are going through spring ball right now.
Well, we're only contractually obligated for 2 more shows with Jay on Friday and the next Tuesday. And we'll have to see if we can keep this going. That'll be the end of our 2 months, and we'll see. Hopefully, we can keep this going. We kind of tried it out, and I think we can hopefully extend it for at least another month. But we'll see if we can go twice a week, or cut it back to once a week, or heck, go 5 days a week. Who knows? But hopefully, you're enjoying it, Jay. I know folks are enjoying having you on, man, and we appreciate it. And we will talk to you. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll talk to you Friday, man.
Sounds good, bud. And again, congrats. Go get a nap today or something, though, okay? Like, go get a nap today, right? You already got a championship hat? Oh, okay.
No,
just
I don't have
hat.
the championship hat, just a regular KU hat. But appreciate it, man. Thanks, Jay. There he is, Jay Tust. I cut him off. Sorry about that. But, yeah, that was a fun night last night. My Jayhawks win the title. Got to experience it with my son. And, yeah, my son was doing some dancing last night. We can show him again there. There he is. There's my son. That was pretty cool to see my son out there having a good time. And Big Wade says, sign him up, my favorite segment. Well, hopefully we can sell some subscriptions to the golf tournament, sell some subscriptions to the website. And, yeah, we'd love to keep Jay on, love to keep Prater on, love to keep Johnny on, but got to be able to pay them for their time. So If you are liking what you see on these shows, hopefully you will consider a subscription. It's just $6.99 a month right now. I think we're going to do a spring game special. It's going to be $52 for the spring game. If you're interested in that, I'll get you a promo code, $52 for a full year, $1 a week. I think the promo code will be spring game, but I haven't put that together yet. But final reminder about the golf tournament. Please subscribe. We have limited foursomes left. It's going to be out at Timberstone Golf Course. You can sign up now. It's open to everybody. It's June 3rd. Coach Leon Rice will be there. Coach Tim Duryea, Coach Mike Burns, golf coaches, Kaylin Downs, the women's golf coach. You got Dan Potter, the men's golf coach. Some other guests, Mike Prater will be there. John Mallory will be there. You heard Jay Tust will be there. Matt Bauscher will be there, working on some other guests as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, Chef Wally's serving up breakfast and lunch. You get free drinks on the course. You can win a hole-in-one, or you win a car if you get a hole-in-one. And you're supporting some, local causes, the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, the family of Rick Worthington, as well as helping us be able to keep Jay and Prater and Johnny doing this moving forward. So appreciate everybody. We're doing this every day. We're going to try to keep this going every day in the off season if there's enough to talk about. But appreciate all our great sponsors. The title sponsors of the golf tournament, ICCU and rowpaint.com. Rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. They've worked on my garage. They've worked on my back patio. They've touched up some siding on my house. Row Paint does a great job, so we appreciate them. And ICCU as well. Our family switched over to ICCU for our banking and for the Bronco Nation News business banking, and it's just so easy with their app and couldn't be more pleased. So please consider making the switch to ICCU as well. Nathaniel Wilder chiming in with a comment here. How about a Tust versus Avalos long drive challenge? That would be pretty funny. I don't know if Coach Avalos is going to be able to make it. I think the football coaches have some something going on with a camp or something that day. But we've got some basketball coaches. We've got golf coaches, some other folks, in the area coming out. So I don't know the answer to that, but it has been fun. But again, please subscribe on YouTube. We're so close. We're like 65, 70 away from getting to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Help us get over 1,000. And again, we're going to give away a round of golf at Timberstone. Great course. Was out there playing last week. They got great greens. Timberstone is an awesome golf course, so we appreciate them for teaming up with us for the golf tournament and giving us some rounds to give away on the show here. So if you want a round of golf at Timberstone, make sure you're a YouTube subscriber. When we get to 1,000, we will give one away on a future show. So appreciate rowpaint.com. Appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. As I mentioned, Lithia Ford of Boise's been with us as well, and they're giving away the free car for anybody that gets the hole-in-one at the golf tournament. So we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com is the website there, and you can check out whether it be a new or used car, truck. They can take care of you, and they can't keep them on the lot. They're selling them so fast. So get over there and check them out, and we appreciate Jim Sturk and Lithia Ford for their sponsorship of the show as well. So tomorrow's Wednesday. We're actually not going to have a show tomorrow morning. We're going to get down there and get Coach Avalos and get to practice tomorrow. We got some interviews tomorrow. And then Thursday, we'll have Mike Prater. We'll be back on Friday with Jay Tust to preview the spring game a little bit more. So appreciate everybody. This has kind of been fun. As I mentioned, it's kind of a community of Boise State fans here that we're creating on Bronco Nation News, kind of our own little, family with the sponsors and with the, subscribers and the fans. And it's been a lot of fun. So appreciate everybody that's been along for the ride here. And again, BroncoNationNews.com is where you can sign up. Click on the golf tournament tab. If you'd like to subscribe to the site and help us out, I'm going to get that spring game promo code going. It'll be spring game as the promo code. It'll be $52 for a full year. That's an $18 discount off the $70 normal price. So appreciate it, folks. Have a great Wednesday or Tuesday, I guess it is. Opening day on Thursday. The Masters on Thursday. It sounds like Tiger Woods is in, and you got the spring game on Saturday. So a lot going on. It's one of the best sports weeks of the year. And it's been fun. Let's keep it rolling. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.